What's going on, everybody? It's your boy AJ the Juice.
And it's your boy Lid the Panda.
And welcome to the Panda and Juice Podcast Show. And we have on a very special guest, somebody near and dear to both of our hearts. The man, the myth, Jake Booty.
I call him Booty. You know, we're gonna go with Booty because that's what Booty. But it don't sound as good. Let's go with Booty.
It's too forceful.
It's too forceful.
Booty's a little more approachable. I
exactly.
like Booty anyway,
you feel me? So that we gonna go with Booty. You know what I'm saying? So
Booty.
shout out to Jake Booty for coming to this show today, man. This is a guy that's been around us for all our college careers. I've known Jake since high school. He was once my rival. We played the same position. He was the 1, I was the 3. So, it was kind of like beef, but we got to school together. He been my dog since then, man. So, shout out. Thank you for coming on the show, man. We're going to have a good one today.
It's going to be a good one. And as you know that we always started off with, got to ask you, Jake, what is the favorite type of juice? As you know, I am a cran mango ocean spray.
I'm a peach guy. Just peach. Everything peach slap.
What's that favorite type of juice, big dog?
I'm going to keep it simple, bro. A fresh glass of orange juice.
Fresh glass of OJ.
Nothing wrong with that.
Fresh glass of OJ.
I need the high quality OJ though, like organic.
Are you
like,
coming? Are
like
you coming with
freshly
pulp?
squeezed.
Are you coming with pulp?
So
or no
it's.
pulp?
I used to hate pulp, but I would throw up. I love the pulp.
Maturity.
I like it's maturity.
Growth.
The taste buds have changed.
That's,
taste
that,
buds have
that
changed.
is growth. That is growth.
When you're a kid, you want to take a sip of your parents' beer. Like that's
Yes.
disgusting.
What?
Yes.
And then you're in college and you're
You're
like,
like,
yeah, give me all the
Give
beer.
me all the beer.
Give
I
me
need
all
every
the
Every
pulp.
kid need every this. Every bit of this. Please. And then next, of course, because we got Panda in the room. What's your favorite zoo animal, man?
Oh.
I'm a cheetah guy. As you know, I've never been fast a day in my life. So I choose my animal to be fast. So what about you, big dog?
Man, favorite zoo animal. What always catches my eye, man? I think the giraffes are just wild.
Guys.
Like, what the hell is a giraffe?
KD's
Why is it
of
so
the
damn
zoo
big?
world.
I don't.
And I got a long neck, so people call me
Yeah,
giraffe. So like I have
that makes sense. That makes
maybe
total sense.
deep back in there, we might have the same lineage.
Jake
Yeah.
was a neck guy. Jake was that guy that came in and just immediately knew I wanted to have the biggest neck ever. Was it because you came in so like?
It was. I had like a 7. I don't even know if I had a 17-inch neck, and it just looked bad. But the thing is I remember our freshman year when you guys got hurt. Like I was starting off, wasn't playing, and as the season went on, you sprained an ankle.
Yes.
Funch was dealing with cramps. It kind of spread to where Penn State week.
Yes.
Funch moves to receiver. I'm playing tight end, and they put me in the backfield. And I
Yes.
remember thinking that, and the Penn State, I can't remember his name. Some absolute terror at middle
Oh
linebacker.
my gosh!
What was his name?
Number 44 or 40. I can't remember.
40. It was 40. It was
was
40.
40.
He had a neck roll.
Neck
I know who
roll.
you're
Neck
talking
roll.
about.
Neck
Yes.
pad.
And they
Yes,
had me.
yes.
They had us in like flank right, and I was motioning in the backfield, and I had to go meet him in the hole. I'm
Nice
like,
block.
Borges, I love you, man, but
Hey.
let's just look at the neck and the head bobbling around. Just let me run a stick route or a corner route.
It's
Backside
very-
cut off.
It's very different in them trenches, man. You know what's crazy that Jake brought that up? I remember this was like yesterday. Matter of fact, it was the game Penn State, our freshman year. You got hurt in the game.
Okay.
Futch was cramping.
Yep.
I think pass course was out as well.
Pass was out.
All
Shout
they
out
had,
pass
like,
course.
it was you, and it was I think was Jost.
It might have been Mike Jost and
Mike
Keith
Jost,
Heitzman. If
and that was
Heitzman
Heisman
over.
wasn't.
He
Heisman
didn't come over.
He didn't come over yet.
Okay.
I remember Ferrino came to the sideline. This is me sitting on the bench, freshman. Look, I'm not on Jake level, so like I don't know none of the playbook. Like
No.
I'm not playing, and like we might need you to go in. What?
What do you mean,
Bro,
What?
night game, whiteout, triple overtime.
Man,
I hear the Panther in my dreams sometimes. I hear the Panther
That environment's something else.
in my dreams. Absolutely.
Hey.
That was one of the funnest
And
places
then
to
they
play.
stick your parents up in this top right corner where you're like,
You know
this,
what?
This little corner of yellow. You're like, my mom, and she
I
go
like
tripping.
that.
Like, I hate that. I was like, why are they so far?
I like it. It should be like that.
it was-
And then when you come to the big house, you're sitting up in the top row,
I'm
chill.
okay, fair enough.
Granted,
Right.
Big House has some great seats. There's
Yeah.
not a bad seat.
Not a
Penn
bad
State,
seat.
you're actually up
Facts.
there, but
Facts.
I kind of like it.
So Jay, I wanna get into. Can you like talk about your career over the years in Michigan and how much of the ups and downs that you dealt with? How did you get through those things? Because a lot of us, me and Juice, we know your story, but to our viewers, they don't know like the
ride, right?
the ride, really what you went through behind closed doors. Because I mean, like I understand because we both went through the same injury. It was crazy how it came along
And to
because it
see
was
you both go through it was
yeah,
crazy.
it was crazy. We both tore our ACLs in the same corner in Glick Fieldhouse.
Back right corner.
Back
I gotta
right
just
corner.
put like street cones or something out there in that corner, bro.
They should just wrap it with yellow tape.
We don't work in that end zone.
I hate the corner
Indy
with
in
a
that
passion.
corner is a no-no.
And it was crazy too because Jake, you came back. So that was when you came back after you tore your ACL. You came back Miami of Ohio, and that was the first time me and you actually played in the game together.
Yeah.
Because we never had played because he
Yeah.
was hurt. And then I get hurt the next week. Tear my ACL. That was the craziest, most. I mean, it was. Man, but yeah, just kind of get into your story, man, about the ups and downs and tell us how you dealt with
It's
that.
a long story. I mean, bro, I think about it wasn't just one thing. It was a lot, and it was never the physical battle. It was the mental, for real. And that started when I graduated high school early and I came on campus. And that's so challenging because for me, I wasn't a vocal guy as a freshman because I was like, yo, like I'm not going to be the dude to talk when I've done nothing, you know? And I'm going into workouts and like Wellman was kicking my ass.
It was
He
going.
was.
Oh, shout out to Aaron Wellman.
Shout
Jesus.
out to
The
Aaron
six. The reason I wake up at 6 a.m. to this day.
I couldn't bench 225 3 times when I walked on campus. I could not do a
Can
pull-up.
we give the people the weight?
I was 209 pounds. People
Oh,
thought I was
that
a
was
walk-on
true.
punter, not a tight end.
That's true.
And that's in January.
Yeah.
So as this is going on, like of course it's natural. Like I'm sizing it up. I'm like I'm doing the math in my head. I don't know if this is for me.
Yeah.
But I'm like I'm just gonna keep pushing, keep trusting. I was like, all right, one thing I do, I need to gain weight. So I was just banging those Gatorade shakes. I was drinking like 4 or 5 of them a day and eating.
Shout out Joe at the time, Joel T.
Joel.
Shout out to
But I remember the first adversity was spring ball when we put on our pads, and I blame you and Funch because we had the Michigan drill where it's just hat on a hat, line up, and it's just
tradition.
who's gonna knock who back.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
tradition.
Tradition.
Oh, yeah.
Frank Clark rolls out there, number 55, 275, hitting like
Second round
4,000
pick,
power
yeah,
output on the
second round
Kaiser. Yeah, $100 million, absolute freak.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like trying to like hide in the back a little bit, and they're like, "Hey, where's Jake? Where's Jake? It's tradition." I'm like, "I didn't hear about this tradition."
Get on up there.
Anyways, I line up there, and Frank literally lifted me off my feet and knocked me back 5 yards, and I was just flat embarrassed. And I'm like, bro, I hate
Welcome to
losing.
college football.
Yeah.
Right? Welcome
And
to college.
throughout, I couldn't grasp the playbook. I couldn't. I was used to catching passes and making a difference. I was just nothing. And I was thinking to myself. I remember calling my dad. I was sitting in the West Quad dorm, and I left the room when I was rooming with Taco, and I called my dad, and I was like on the verge of tears. I'm like, I really think I made a bad decision. I don't think I'm gonna play here.
Just wait.
I was like, I don't think this is for me. Like, you started all year as a freshman. Funch was a freshman All-American. Like, I'm 230 pounds. Like, I'm struggling. I'm like, I'm taking college level classes. I'm like, man, I don't think this is for me.
It's a lot, and for all the kids watching too, it's a part of the journey to struggle. So don't think that all of us didn't have it, and that's what you're hearing right now. So keep pushing.
There's a moment that happens though. Like that's where then you see a fork in the road. Like, okay, I'm gonna believe that and quit and give up.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna say, all right, man, what do I actually need to do? I need to gain more weight. I need to get stronger. I need to learn the playbook. I need to really know the playbook, and I need to improve the intricacies of my game. And I was like, all right, that's what I'll do. Throughout camp, like slow build up, to the point where I'm like, all right, I think I can actually play. But I wasn't going to play
And we
because you
knew
guys
you
were.
could,
That was
though.
your. I could have played, but like,
Right.
there's only so many reps in the game, you know.
Because I mean, we were at 4 tight ends at that point in our offense.
Yeah.
And we knew we needed 2. We knew we had that, but. As thank you for Jay for making it all happen.
Making it all happen,
For
yeah,
making
'cause
all
that
4 of
was-
us be
yeah.
right. Shout out to Ian too.
Yeah,
Right. Shout out to
yeah.
everybody. Tito take over on that. But
Shout out to them
I
boys.
remember that year watching the maturity, right? And it was like it went from like fork routes to like, okay, let's get this guy in on the blocking. Okay, let's get. I remember the maturation of it, right? And then also thinking, okay, now you got to think like this young guy, and then we had. Funches needed to kind of make his move to
Yep.
kind of clear this room for us,
Yeah,
right? Because
yeah.
we knew that he was going to flourish when he got out there. And finally, the cramps happened, and then what was it? I think it was like we talked about Miami. And then
It started Notre Dame.
Yes.
Week 1 was Central, and I played like my first play was like trips left Y stick, and I blacked out. Shane threw it about 8,000 miles an hour. I had no choice but to catch
Left
it.
spin too.
No one was around me. I fell down right away. It was trash. But then week 2 happens. Notre Dame under the lights. First game under the lights in the big house.
Yeah.
115,000
Craziest
record.
game.
Crazy.
You rolled your ankle. Bunch is
Very
getting
good.
cramps. I'm like, damn,
You know,
dude. I
that's
don't
the-
know.
that-
I don't
I
know
said-
if I'm ready.
You know what's crazy? I said Penn State. I meant that game because that was the game. I never got scared.
You were in too.
Yeah, because I was like, it was like, we need to go you for a play. I'm like, what? Like, I'm not ready.
I thought it was over.
I was not ready for that. Like, it was crazy how like you went down, Funch's cramps. They get no pass course. Like, I'm like, it's just the worst stuff is happening, and I didn't know what to do with it.
It was so fast.
It was so fast.
It was like second quarter. Like it was so early. It
But
wasn't
that's
even
how
like
it happens, though.
Right.
Facts.
Right.
And
Like-
that was your moment though. Like,
And it was.
Yeah.
So that's where I was like, bro, you have to be prepared ahead of the actual event. Like you
Yeah.
have had to seen that event happen and prep for that event to happen.
Right.
Because you get one chance, maybe. Like you
Maybe.
might not even get it. You have to prepare for a chance you might not get anyways. And when you
Facts.
get it, you have to seize it.
Yeah.
Or seize it enough that they're saying, hey, we're going to give you another opportunity, you know?
Facts.
And I didn't do anything crazy that game. I played good enough against a really good team.
Yeah.
Next week, your ankle was still sprained.
Still sprained.
Funch was still playing tight end. We were in there. We were playing Akron. Almost lost. Crazy. Crazy time in Michigan history as it is.
So
Almost
wild.
lost.
Man.
Next week was Penn State. We were back into conference. They're like, all right, you're back. Funch, you are athletic. We need to get you more involved in the pass game. So he moves out to receiver next to Gallon. That was like that was the smart thing to do.
Yeah, that was
The
facts.
best thing for all of us. Yeah, absolutely.
And that was the journey. That was the journey. I remember though, I ended up having a good year that year, and Ohio State was like that game was when I was like, all right, I can for real play.
Well,
at the college
Northwestern
level.
too. Though.
Northwestern.
Oh,
Northwestern
for
too.
sure.
Though you were
Now, that was
crazy.
the
Yeah,
coming out- now,
that
Northwestern
that
was
was
the
really
coming
the
out
coming out party
That
for
was
sure.
coming out party.
That was coming out.
But Ohio State was that was a number 3 or 2 team in the country at the point. And
Yeah,
their
facts,
whole
facts.
defense was getting drafted to the NFL.
Yeah,
And I had like 5 for 85 and a touchdown in a critical moment.
And
too,
it was
like
after
a tough
I think
catch.
Drake had just got hurt.
Yeah, that was-
right?
yeah,
Drake
Jersey
had
was
got
out.
hurt. We
Jersey was
needed
out.
offense. We could not find offense and, like at that point. So you having that was like the bright spot.
Yep.
From that game, honestly, right? Like we got another dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's gonna
That one hurts to reflect on,
my
man.
gosh.
42-41.
Man, that was.
4-on-2.
And then
Go for it on two.
and then we after that season, right? Because we're going to the winter workouts and stuff like that, and it's crazy. Like, because I felt like at that time you was really taking a step to like another evolution. Because at this point now I've spent my whole season with the team, and now we're going to off season. We're all in the room together, so I'm trying to compete with y'all because it's like. We some guys now. We ain't just creep. We ain't just a regular guy.
Everybody's a dude.
Everybody's a dude in that room.
When
so
you
it was
go
like
to a good school, guys, everyone's a dude.
everybody's a dude. So
Good guy.
it was like, man, just trying to keep up, man, with Jake, because Jake was like just everywhere, working every day. So I'm just like, all right, bro, I gotta, you feel me? Because
Absolutely.
the winter workouts was kicking my ass. I'm not gonna lie. Them team gashers, the bear crawls, the pushing the plate.
The wooden sleds.
The wooden
Don't think
sleds.
we
Don't
forgot.
y'all don't understand about them winter workouts.
The torture
up in AA.
machines, bro.
Man, they don't know about the. They
The
don't
partner
know.
prowler pushes,
Man.
the bear crawl with the prowler behind you.
Come on now.
That was not even anything physical. That was straight. You had to go deep inside. Like it was saying, how deep are you willing to go for the team? That
Really,
was the
how
truth.
deep is you? Because when you got to think about it too, don't forget about the sled pull at the end of the workout.
Oh, absolutely.
When we got to pull it the whole field, we talking 6-7
Yeah.
plates on there,
At
and
least.
you can't stop.
So to give them context, this would be Friday. So we'd already worked the whole week, mind
Yeah.
you. Each workout's like 2.5 hours, Monday through Thursday. Then it's Friday, and that's a big lower day. So you do lower, heavy squat, everything,
Facts.
whatever you can do. So your legs are shot.
Facts.
We called it Friday finisher.
Yeah.
And it basically was you should not be doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got a prowler, like a prowler sled that people are pushing,
Yeah.
and you paired up with someone your weight. So I'm 250.
Yep.
My partner's 250. You
Me and
had
Jake
to
was on
push
there.
your
Me and Jake was-
weight on a prowler 100 yards without stopping.
No stop.
Me and who was the tight end that came from D tackle? We just talked about.
Keith Heitzman.
My boy Heitzman.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I appreciated that, man, because he understood, like, when I was tired, he was like, "Lid, I ain't gonna argue with you. I'm gonna just ride out with you. Take your breath." Like I said, that's why we understood each other. I think the tight ends as a group, we always understood. One of us was tired, we can't bother. Let them do what they gonna do. I think even after you was gone, like our senior year, well, Jake's last year, I think when we was going into summer conditioning, and Jake, he was looking at me and be like, I'm just letting it ride out.
Oh, yeah. No, because don't forget who Jake is now, y'all. Right? Jake is the dude.
Yeah.
15 crossing. Me, Lid are kind of
17.
8.
Getting in right at 18 every time. We just making it. Yeah.
But as Jake started to realize, like, I'm gonna let these 3 or 4 guys run together, and I'm gonna get the rest of the team. I'm gonna get the rest of the team. So
for sure, yeah.
But you got to compete with yourself, though, is what it really was.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Lid, like for you, those gassers were tough, bro.
And I was the heaviest in the big skill. You don't understand, bro. At that point, I think I was 275
at least off the script.
That was off the strip because at one point I think Tober understood. He was like, Khalid gonna be who he weigh, but he athletic enough to do everything.
Agile.
He can do everything still that way. We just gotta give him rest when he need rest. That's it. You feel me? So it was like. My biggest thing when I was doing it, bro, I said, because I would look at Jake every time, and Jake would be just nothing was wrong. Jake would be walking around, hey, get up, you all right? Like, he walking around telling everybody, get up. I'm like, I want to be like you. I want to do what you do. Like,
I really wanted to be like J.U., who could stop.
He looked like a deer running down there, bro.
J.U. would listen. If this is the table is the field, right? J.U. could stop at the other side and be like, "You're not trying enough, dude."
He did that.
He stopped mid gasser.
He did that.
You're not trying enough. Get better. And then still made it.
Bruh, I saw that with my eyes. I used to be so envy of dudes who could do that, bro, because I'm like, how?
And Jake was that in the big skill.
Jake was in the big skill.
But, like, it was never about the gasser. It was, like, what the gasser was trying to accomplish. Right. And as we talk about, like, as we move into how bad we were our first 2 years, a lot of that was culture.
Yeah.
How good we were our last 2 years. A lot of that was culture.
Facts.
There was always people calling people out.
Facts.
But at the end of the day, it was like, hey, Lid, you got to make this gasser because, bro, we're trying to win the Big Ten. Like, are you willing to push yourself to win a Big Ten championship?
Facts.
All right, yeah, cool, man. Like, I'm going to get up there and give it my best. You know what I'm saying? It's not like for an ego. It's like, hey, man, 100%. Like, I want you to realize your full potential because that's when you feel alive, you know? Right. And then what happened?
Shit, summer camp, I was eating. I was good.
And what happened on the field?
And still was eating, and it translated to the field.
Exactly.
Facts.
It all translates.
If you look at all of our, careers, Jake, obviously you had that long tenured success, but we all had 1 year.
One year where it was like
where it kind of got put.
We
together,
separated ourselves from just regular average players at the university.
For me,
we
it
did
was
something.
Quadrupling my pass catches, right? My senior year, right, and actually being able to like have a role other than
catching
blocking,
the ball.
right? Like it was like the maturation finally coming together. Lid, it was 13 tutties that
13
year.
13 tutties.
You know what I mean? And we go from that to so
but
like.
don't discredit your blocking, bro.
Oh, facts. Juice
for real.
Juice
it's not
really
sexy, but like you don't understand, bro. That is you got to sacrifice because no one cares, no one notices unless you mess up.
Except you guys, and I think that's what made it. But I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, but I never was the type to complain about it because I was gonna. When you scored, I scored.
Yeah,
right? Like, that meant the world to me, right? Like
every
even
time
being on that. So like. Find your role and like star in it, right? Like everybody's version of success looks so different, right?
Juice, bro, like to go into the huddle every day and like, I know you wanted to catch those passes. You know what I mean? I know you did. Who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
But you never batted an eye when it was dot right purple 2, Robbie. F fork.
Because I'm locking you up in pass pro and I'm gonna watch that ball.
Every time.
And frankly. There was a moment in time where I know we all came to Michigan. We watched the Sugar Bowl happen. We're like, all right, this is Michigan. And then those first 2 years, it was extremely evident that this wasn't what we came here to do.
Right.
I would much rather, and when we talk about Coach Harbaugh, I'd much rather a coach be hard on me and win than be dead comfortable in losing. Winning is fun. Winning is fun. And that's the goal. It's why you play the game.
1,000,000%.
Because we got to think about that. What was that year? What was we before we
5 and 7? Didn't make a bowl game. We went home for Christmas.
Yeah, we won the first 5 games.
That's what's crazy.
That's what people don't know.
Oh, we did.
We won the first 5 games.
We went undefeated the first 5 games and lost 7 straight.
Penn State.
Y'all don't understand the looks we got as players on campus the disrespect that we was getting, bro, was ridiculous.
Do not think we forgot about that either.
Do not, yeah, don't Skeeps.
Skeeps.
Don't think because you start letting me at 16 don't mean I forgot about 15 and 14, okay?
Right.
I'm not even mad at him though.
I can't be mad at him, but at the same time, I was who I am today and who I was then, all right?
Shout out to Red, man.
Shout out to them
Red,
guys,
that
man.
guy really kept us alive
Facts.
in that scene. But
Yeah.
yes, the city turned their back on us for a little bit. But then you talk about, we're on the Zoom call, right? No, it's a phone call. We're on that phone call. And I think we had heard rumors of
That
we had
somebody
heard Les.
Les was the guy.
We heard Les. We
That
had
was low-key
heard-
a fun time though because
It was.
we did have workouts. We did have work. Who was our interim coach at that time?
I think it was just like
I don't know. It was Jim Hackett was the interim AD. I
I
remember him
think
leading
he
it.
was-
and
cause
he was great though.
He was great
because
though, because he came in
He
and talked
came
to
to
us.
us.
Yeah, he
It was
came to
like,
us and
what?
talked to
Let's
us.
split
What we
up
want.
and say,
Yeah.
what are the traits you
do we
guys are
want?
looking for in a head coach?
Yeah.
Shout out to Jim
And,
Hackett.
and shout out to Jim Hackett because he took a very unorganized, messy situation and
Made
turned
the
it
best
into
out of it.
something.
He gave us what we wanted too, like
And he
Nike
did.
and Jordans what we wanted. We got this. Like that's what's crazy. Like we actually sat and was in the meeting. He came to us and was like, "Look, I'm gonna give y'all the 4-5. Y'all pick." He really let us pick, even with the coaching situation. Like he was like, because I don't remember the name. I remember Les being one of the
Les.
names. We was on there.
I want to
Everybody
say
talked
West.
about.
I want to say like Wisconsin's or Youngstown's guy. It was somebody.
Somebody on the
from
red
there,
team. Like
red team.
some on the red team for sure. So yeah, but to get back to the point though, going into your sophomore season, the injury that took place in the offseason. Was that winter or was that summer?
That was winter workouts. I had just made freshman All Big Ten.
Right.
And I'm thinking, same what you're saying. I was ready to take that leap.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was
for
ready
sure.
to take that leap, and it was crazy. I'm running a corner route, man. Something I did 100 times, and just bang, pop, tear my ACL, dude, and both meniscus. So I was on crutches for basically 3 months. And I remember them telling me a cool story about it. I remember them telling me so my grandfather played at Notre Dame, and the Notre Dame game was on the road. When I committed to Michigan, I wanted to go to Notre Dame because he wanted to spread his ashes on the field. But a lot of people they don't let that happen. They're like, no, you can't do that. That game was going to be 6 months and 5 days after surgery. And I told Schmitty at the time, I'm like, hey, I'm playing in that game. And he's like, my friend, let's realistic.
Realistically,
You're probably going to redshirt, or if you do, you're not playing until the Big Ten championship. And I'm like, dude, you don't know me.
Yeah.
Right.
And I remember just eating that rehab.
Yeah, he was eating
I
that.
did not bat an eye once ever.
In there every day, no cap.
I think that
in
was
there.
the most mentally strong too I had seen you come in, right? Like I think that was like just a guy that's like kind of like was everybody's OG at that point, like just seeing like these guys go from just like high schoolers to like, oh, I'm ready to take that step. And you mentally took that step, but then also as a leader even in our room, right? Like even as an older guy, recognizing that and like I think that was the thing about our room that made it special was that everybody, the checks and balance system was crazy. There was nobody that couldn't get checked because I was a senior, or there was nobody like, that we couldn't have a conversation with.
Yeah, and it was never
collective thing
and it was
always.
never beef. Like if somebody, because I know Jake used to get on my ass. 16, even though I had a great year, Jake used to be on my ass all the time. But still, I never took like after he said something to me, it was like, all right, but I got you. It wasn't never no like, man, what you mean? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I hope
like,
you know, I would do that. I would never do that. I was on T. Wheat's ass.
Yeah,
I was on.
T-Wheat.
We
I was
always
on
on
Chase's
his,
ass.
we always on,
I
we
was
always on
on,
your
but
ass.
I was on my ass too. Like
Yeah.
why I ran those gassers so hard.
Yeah.
I would because I never wanted someone to say, all right, you're asking more
Yeah.
of me than you ask of yourself.
Exactly, 100%. That whole team could have went to the draft. Like we all could have went, and somebody was gonna get picked on each side eventually in the draft. And I think for me, it was like Jake was our because you got to think we didn't have Pep that game either because you talking about the Florida State game, right? We lost Pep the day before walkthroughs. So now it's like we need an X factor. Jake came out early. It was like it was on, and then that play happened, bro, and to see him go down, I'm just like, bro, what?
It was
like,
emotional. It was like
it
an
was-
emotional thing.
bro.
I remember watching it. It just
It took everybody's because we had to look at the way we played that game. We come out hot. Jake get hurt. We are getting after that. We was getting our asses handed to us, literally. And it was like I don't know who talked to us. Somebody said something, and it was just like, all right, back to it. Let's get back to it. So it was just like, man, to see Jay go down and then you deal with it twice, bro, because I've been there for both of them. You know what I'm saying, like that.
Right.
And then I've been through the ACL injury as well. It's not nothing to play with. Like it's that injury will take you to the lowest of the lows because it's like, bro, you want to get up, you want to do stuff, you want to. My knee, I can't. You feel me? Pain, and then you got a feeling that you gonna have it because I'm still numbing that motherfucker to this day.
Right.
You feel me? Like it's like it's so much that come with it, man. And like just want to give a shout out to you, your roses and your flowers for never, always persevering. You know what I'm saying?
Folded.
Like never folded, going through that, man. And it was crazy too because I remember your first playback your sophomore year when. It was Miami of Ohio. We practiced this play for me the whole week. It was a sled and in a slot it was a wheel route. Oh my bro, the whole week I was catching that shit. Oh my god, I'm about to score this because that was my first my first time scoring. Bro. First hey look! First kickoff. I'm gonna kick it, mind you. This was at the point in time when they was putting me back in the back on kick return. I was in the back on kick return. Don't get it twisted. I was in the back on me.
Athlete.
They kicked it to me. I got hit in my quad on the sideline. I couldn't run the same for the rest of the game. Yeah. Jake coach is like, we want to run this play. Khalid ready. All I told coach, I said, no. And Jake was like, I got it, coach. I was like, and they threw a perfect ball right into it was like this full circle, bro. It was full circle, like that was just their first touchdown back.
It was. Yeah.
Dog, that was crazy. It was funny though. I was so happy for Jake. I was just like, yes, dude,
right? Because that was our room, though.
That was our room for sure.
That was the, and then to veer back to some of our questions real quick, but. So Jake, when did you first find out about your superpowers, right? Superpowers are on our show that any gift that comes from above, anything like that, football, anything, basketball, activism, pouring concrete. When did you first find out about your superpower?
I would say my superpower is the mental aspect of it, bro. And
I hope y'all listening.
You find that out not in times of comfort. You find that out in times where you tested. When we talk about that fork in the road where you make a decision of do I quit or do I keep pushing? When I was a young man, playing soccer, running laps around the field, hey, we're running miles, and I'm in third grade. Yeah. And there's that moment where you're dead tired, and I was always able to pivot and be like, I'm not quitting. No one can say I will quit, and I would just keep going and going. And that just habit was, emphasized throughout the year. And my dad helped me a lot with that, too.
Shout out Papa Butt, man.
My dad helped me a lot.
Papa Butt,
Goat.
Mama Butt, the guy.
Goats.
Shout out Joe, man.
You got to have people like that in your corner to keep you pushing. But as we talked about these injuries, man, those just reinforced it more and more and more. That when you go through a tough time, there's perspective. And the perspective becomes all right, I know what I'm feeling right now. I want to go curl up in a ball in bed. I do want to run away. I don't want to do this. And sometimes that's going to be what it is. Yeah. But long term,
you have to do that.
You have to say, hey, this is going to mold me. I'm going to walk through the smoke. And I'm going to come out stronger. I always think of the analogy in the weight room. If you're doing a weight you can do, you're never going to get bigger or stronger. When you push yourself in the weight room and you fail, what actually happens is you rip and tear the fibers in your muscles. They're broken down. Yeah. But what happens is they're built back stronger and bigger. That's the perfect analogy for when you're being tested in life is, hey, I'm being broken down right now to be built back stronger and better,
Got you. So, and I also want to hit on, too, because, you actually, after tearing your ACL twice and tearing again, your final run, man, it's crazy. So, after the second time, people, it really hurt your draft stock, whatever, because people thought you wasn't gonna come back the same guy and all this and that. But you still went out and showed them again, hey, I'm not the one you want to fuck with, because I'm gonna show you every time that I'm gonna bounce back. So, can you explain to us your journey in the NFL and what was that experience like?
Rough. I sat out my whole rookie year. I missed one game in my college career. I was not the injured guy. I was a guy that was going to go regardless. Absolutely. I never missed anything, and if it did, it would literally kill me inside. Even if I physically wasn't able to go, I would try to go. Yeah. And now here I am in the NFL, and I'm the guy sitting on the training table all day, and I'm seeing everybody get taped up to go out to practice, and I'm going over to the weight room by myself. That's tough, dude.
That's mentally a lot.
I came back. my second year, I'm going into OTAs, and I felt good. I knew I was like, all right, this was the best I'd ever felt in my life, actually.
Wow.
And I was
where it
I
be
was
at.
feasting in
man.
OTAs.
That's a bad man
I was
right there.
going crazy in OTAs. And I remember going into camp in week 1 that year. The OC has a play call sheet, and he's got his 100 or so plays, but then he flips it over, and he's got we need to get the guy the ball section.
Oh, wow, I like that.
Demarius Thomas, number 88, bang. Emmanuel Sanders,
Yeah.
Jake Butt. Like,
Woo!
I was doing so
Him.
well that I was like, hey
Himothy,
man, I'm
dude.
gonna put myself on
Him.
the map. We're playing Kansas City on Monday night in Arrowhead.
Oh.
Rivalry. I had only had like 1 or 2 catches the game before, didn't really get targeted that much. And I remember going into that week, they were going to target me. I was going to run a sluggo. I was going to run a dig and
yes,
go,
sir.
fade in the end zone, slant down in the red zone. It was going to, and I'm thinking to myself,
He crazy.
I'm going to outplay Travis Kelce in Arrowhead on Monday night and put myself on the map. And I'm running down on kickoff, bro. Scout team kickoff. First, we warm up. Very first rep of the day. I'm running down. I do my move to beat the guy, and the ground just gave way just ever so slightly underneath my foot. My knee bend in, and you just hear the pop, like, and I'm just laying on the ground, and like Josh Watson was the guy blocking me, just froze. Everybody froze, just like, damn, what just happened, dude? This is the first play of practice. I went into and I really never cry, dude, when any of these things happen. Like, I went into the locker room, I just slammed my helmet down, and I was just like, no way, dude.
Right.
I just rehabbed for
How in the-
18 months, like, no shot. And I've never been injured.
Yeah.
So now it's not just the injury, now it's my identity.
Yeah.
I'm
Facts.
not the guy you can count on anymore. I'm the injured dude. Like,
which is
the
a
clock
mental-
is ticking on my career.
right.
Facts.
Absolutely, like, which is mentally straining.
And you know what we used to, what was that sign Harbaugh had? The injured guy is the same as, what did it say?
Oh,
You're right. What is
And look, I used to hate seeing that because
guys are so,
injured guys is always, I forgot, it was something that was just a shot at injured guys. But it as much as it hurt, it made sense because, especially when you got to the league, bro, when you was an injured guy, bro, and you constantly got that look like there's gonna be less. You feel me? So it to your point when you say, man, like, you just going through all that rehab, 18 months, dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? And it happens
gets worse.
again. Oh, yeah, it do get worse. So you hit on that.
I rehabbed that for 9 months. And I'll be honest, that rehab, bro, I wanted someone to just be like, I was waiting for someone to just like pull the cord for me. You know?
just kind of like
Yeah.
it's like,
you're done, dude.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, we don't need you anymore. I was like, that way I could just say, all right, cool.
Yeah.
which is a crazy mental place to be in.
I've
as an
never
athlete.
been like that.
Because confidence
Yeah.
as an
What
athlete
is that?
is confidence as an
100%.
athlete, everything. Right?
100%.
That rehab sucked, man. Like, all the other rehabs I was able to come back from, for some reason, this one was way tougher. Anyways, I get cleared 9 months after the surgery. Get cleared. The next day was camp day, report day. The next day we have practice. That practice, I re-tear both the meniscus in my knee. And like, to the point, and like, sometimes you don't need surgery.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, man, I'm not going to go through surgery. Dude, I'm literally going through camp, and if camp was 6 weeks long because we had the Hall of Fame game, I literally could not walk and was on crutches for 4 weeks. And I'm thinking to myself, I was so depressed and
that's
low
crazy.
in my life, and I'm like,
That's
I
crazy.
really wanted someone to just be like, dude, I literally started laughing at things because I was like,
That's
this isn't real.
Yeah,
Like, you know?
it don't make no sense.
I had to get surgery. I missed the whole season. Once again, I missed that whole season.
That's to hear that.
In 3 years, I had played 3 games. In my life, before those 3 years, I had missed one game.
That's it. And like the Ironman title is hard to get too in college, right? Like to know
Facts.
that you can enter to have that.
Facts.
And then now, what we talk about the most is identity. Like you know, for me, then I gotta ask, who was your Nick Fury, right? I know you're not the biggest Marvel guy, but Nick Fury is that guy who helps cultivate, push you. Like, who was the person that helps you kind of like make it through that, right? Like, I mean, I know, and honestly, you might have a couple Nick Furies.
Yeah,
right?
you might have a couple,
'cause
honestly.
You've honestly had to battle
Yeah.
back from so much. So who are some of the people that kind of just were just big in that corner and honestly getting you through that?
There's a lot, and I'll forget a lot of people probably.
We still
you know?
love you though.
But
It's all love though.
Yeah, still
whoever helped, you know who you is.
I love you now.
yeah, my dad obviously,
Yeah, of course.
my strength coach out in Denver, Lauren Landau, because I spent so much time with him, and he's one of the best in the world. He was a big help.
Awesome.
I mean, all my friends and former teammates, guys would just, drop some seeds here and there and just be a light, get my mind off things, man.
And that's what it's all about.
That's what happens.
Does it take a village, don't it?
It takes a village.
It takes a village. You feel
The
me?
bare minimum.
The bare minimum. Hey.
It might be a city now.
Real.
Might be a city
Hey.
now compared to
You got a tendency, man, when you're going through tough things as a man, you don't want to show it.
Yeah.
So you isolate.
Ooh, talk to it. Now you saying something now.
I
Jay.
wanted to isolate, dude, because I was like, I don't want to show my face, man. I feel like a failure. Like I feel like I'm not anywhere near where I want to be. That isolation happens, but it's the community for real that brings you back.
Yeah.
So
When in all
you gotta
reality,
resist that
even just
isolation.
getting there is like not even like we feel like we fail, but even getting there.
It's failure.
And you know what's crazy?
know?
You know what's crazy? Like, it's 2 points you guys have hit on. I think you were saying something like at one point, you wanted somebody to tell you, hey, you're done. You know, so you could just be like, I'm done. And I reflected with that because my time in Seattle, bro. I get picked up as an undrafted free agent. I go out there. I'm a starter, bro. I'm starting. I'm a Russ. I'm a Russ. I'm in the ones. We going to camp. I'm like, first day of pads. Been killing OTA. Now I feel like I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? Like the time that, ups and downs. This is a moment, right?
It is.
We first played at 907, first padded practice. It was like our weak side run, whatever our weak side run used to be. And I had an ISO with KJ. 6'5", 260.
Heck of a nice
6'5", 260. And he got lower than me. And I'm 6'3". Man, I'm talking about he hit me so hard, bro. My whole shoulder went numb, right? I had severe nerve damage for 2 months.
Wow.
And you talking about, you said the isolation of dealing with, like, you're not enough. And, like, everybody's situation is different, right? Like, you had, like, a good corner. I wouldn't say my support system wasn't what you had. But I think for me, it was also, too, like, and I think a lot of us go through this, is that it's your time. When it's your time, it's your time. Like, when that fire don't start hitting the same, and it's like, you ain't getting up no more with the, I'm about to go up and get it today.
I used to love it, but
and I think, on the other side, like, for people, and this is for the kids that's watching, like, understand, like, you devote your life to a sport as long as we have, you will eventually get to a point where you can't play that game no more. But understand, it's okay to move on to something else. Like, don't make football who you are.
It's not who you are.
It's not who you are. It's just something that you do that you're good
there
at.
we go.
So understand that everybody's journey is different. Jake was a guy who was able to bounce back plenty of time. I wasn't really injured a lot. My 2 injuries they were detrimental to my career. Right. So it's different sides on sometimes on how people take it. But don't know your truth and do what's best for you. And know who you are at the end of the day, because you probably can't do what Jake do. Like I don't think I could do what Jake did.
Because you don't have the superpower of the mental, and that's why now it's like that's why I got to go back to it. It's just like who again, like you said, you're a strength coach, your dad, all those people helping you out. But like, did you another question we asked, like, did you develop like a hidden talent? Did you?
Because in that time off, you was definitely doing stuff. What was you doing?
Yeah.
I know what you was doing. Put that out there. A lot of good times.
Bro, I mean, it's weird because I just had to start. I just started peeling back life.
Okay.
Like
right now.
Like you're right. Like it was football, man. I remember sitting there. And I'm in the league. I got drafted. I got an insurance check. I got money. I got a car. I was living in a nice spot.
Right.
But it was the emptiest I'd ever been in my life.
I remember you saying this.
Wow.
Like my heart hurts to think about that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, Jake, wow. I mean, I don't think we.
And you can't go talk to somebody about it because who am I to complain?
Man.
I got
so then you isolate
problems,
more.
right?
Yeah.
I had the same.
Oh, you're sad, bro? Yeah.
We literally was living identical lives, just in different states. Like,
and also more credit to what we always talk about, especially when me and you get off the phone, is why the heck don't we call each other more?
I know.
You know why? Why in God's name? Because now, especially guys, I got to realize, who I am in all this, right? Like I was the luxury of being here first, in the sense of just like I was the oldest, right? So
he kind of practically raised every single one of us.
Shout out to the castle again. Okay, shout out to the castle. Shout out to everybody in there. All the boys. But I got to see us need this sport, and then I got to see us kind of post it, like post not need this, right?
Yeah.
And we all were so many different things. That NIL deal was about 10 too late.
Man, we would have ran that up. We would have ran that up.
That thing up.
We'd have made it. They'd have made it back illegal after us.
Oh yeah, because we'd have took it from y'all.
Yeah,
but
for real.
now to what we talk about, man, like as brothers when we're going through it, why the heck aren't we calling each other more? You know, why in the heck are we feeling like we're all living the same struggle? We broke up with the same sport different ways.
Yeah.
Why the heck aren't we calling each other?
Bro, so so when you leave the game, like it is what you just said, and we talked about this on the phone the other day. That's a woman I loved more than that. That was Fiona and Shrek. You know, I slayed the dragon to get there. You
Yeah,
know, like
facts.
that is a love that, like, I mean, when you just said that, dude, just describing it, it stings still.
Yeah,
it
facts.
stings still.
And it's going to.
But I love football. Don't get me wrong. I love football. But what did I love more? Was it this?
Yeah.
Right.
And that's
it the
right.
locker
God,
room?
God damn it, that's a drip. God, I wish we had
Yo,
somebody.
when they would say get on the line again, dude, and like I'm looking around, like your hands on your knees, sweat's dripping off. No one wants to do this.
Yeah,
and it's
facts.
6 a.m., dude. We got a
Facts.
whole day of class. No one wants to do this, but like together,
It's
we're
us.
doing it.
It's us.
I think that's what I miss more than anything.
Because I'll never get the locker room back. Like I can have as many, but there was a point in time where like we said, somebody bought the call in, and it was probably a tight end because we switched those out a lot.
Yeah.
And there was a point in time knowing I had to go do something for this guy, and I'll never. And as much as I do any other thing, I'll never have that type of like required mental and physical bought in this, and that's what I miss. Like I miss Jake needed me. I miss Lyd needed me. You know what I mean? And now we need each other in different ways. But I miss like P2 doesn't work without that.
It doesn't.
It doesn't work. Like
You better talk to him, Juice.
it doesn't work. So I my biggest thing, especially on that, is call your brothers,
Man.
and you build those relationships and you build all those things, and then that time can't be replaced with anything. And shout out to the new friends that you'll make and the new people that'll come to your life. But
Them brothers that you
I
said.
almost died next to you.
Yeah, facts.
like
felt
several
like it.
times.
Hey, Juice, to that point though, like I think when you ask the question of like why don't we reach, I think it's because we can pick up off where we left off 6 or 7 years ago. Like without a bro, I saw Matt Wow, not Matt Wow, no, it was not Matt Wow, Haggard, right? Will Haggard,
Will Hags.
walking down
He had to have
State
coffee.
Street with a, and I'm just like, Will, what's up? And we just had a conversation. I'm just like, bro, like to have that, it's. You know, I feel like you're not in the group chats, but we have other group chats that talk. You know, we talk to have plenty of conversations about stuff going on in the world today, and I think even us having them tough conversations, we had a lot of tough conversations that people ain't seen, and for us to still get past it just shows how those blood, sweat, and tears meant so much to us.
Absolutely.
So yeah, to that point, man, I think that's always gonna be something.
To circle back on it, like the hidden talent then becomes more of a curiosity of, you know, why am I here? It wasn't just to play football, but at one point I thought that was exactly what everything was in my life. Yeah. So the hidden talent would be more curious about like the deeper purpose within life, because I think that's why you're here.
Facts.
Absolutely.
And I want to, because we about to get ready to end in a second, right? So now that you're done with football, and now that you're moving on, you're removed from football. I mean, I understand that you also are trying to get back into the Big Ten, commentating and stuff like that.
Oh, he's doing it, yeah.
What things do you do mentally today to help you deal with, because we all go through tough times, especially now. We're not the same people we once were, especially sports gone from us and we're not playing. What are some things that you do that helps you, get through your days?
See a counselor, talk to somebody.
Go talk to somebody.
Destigmatize that flat out, like
Absolutely.
You're
that's
gonna cause
gems.
more. You're gonna cause more problems if you don't, bro. You got to talk to somebody in
dropping gems.
confidentiality.
I love that.
He dropping gems.
I meditate every day.
Yeah.
I get at least 30. I try to get an hour of meditation in a day. I journal, not as consistently as I would like. I would journal, and I read like self improvement books. Like I would like to learn about what other people have done to overcome their tough things. Those are kind of the staples. Among some other things, but try to eat clean. Exercise is one of the best things you could do for your mental health. Yeah. I take cold showers. Cold showers is just a little win to say, hey, I'm more stronger than my mind because no one. I like a warm shower.
Absolutely.
But
everybody loves
I'll
that.
take a cold shower because it's just a little win without the day.
I got you. So another, and this is kind of like the last two.
Last couple.
Advice you would give your younger self, especially with everything you went through. I
What's
don't know
Jay
what.
Booty said.
Woo, what you saying to Young
saying
Booty?
to Young Butt.
And would you think Young
Young
Booty
Booty.
would be prepared to deal with it?
I'll just be like, man, it's gonna be okay, bro.
Oh.
It's gonna be good. Life,
Simple.
It's gonna be good, man. Like the ups and downs, the ups, they come and go. The downs, they come and go.
Right.
You're just going through life. Don't take it too seriously. Try to just be present. It's all gonna be good. But I had to suffer a lot to get to that point. So I don't think my younger self been like, bro, what? I'm having fun. Great. This is awesome. My ego was fed, you know? But you need to go through some stuff to get there.
100%.
Yeah.
There's beauty in
100%.
that struggle.
Yeah.
And to come up to the last thing, what's your why? Like, we talk about your strong mental and how that, kind of just wanting to be great helps you. But what's something personal to you that drives you to be like,
What's behind that?
what's behind it?
I just like a curiosity to like realize like my full potential on earth.
Okay.
I don't want to. Like I go back to the money analogy when I was a rookie. Like I was materially very comfortable, but I'm injured and sitting on the couch every day, and I was dead inside. But the most alive I've been is when they're saying get back on the line for that 25th gasser. I'm on the verge of blacking out, and I just say I'm gonna go one more. Like, hey, I'm actually even harder than I thought I was. I can go longer than I thought I was. Like that's the liveliness is how far can I really go? Like what's the depths of my soul?
What was he saying before? I want to suck up every drip of life. I want to
Yes.
suck up every
every
drip of
drop.
life.
Suck out
Every
every single
drop.
drop of life.
Facts.
Pause. I want to get squeeze out every drop of life.
All the juice that this thing's got to offer.
Get
Like,
everything while you here, because you only here once. And after that, hey, there it is.
Well, I know that this was phenomenal, man. This was great. Jake, thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you. For
I could
coming
go
on
another
with us.
3 hours.
Oh,
Look,
I
look,
could
y'all
go-
don't understand, man. That team, the dynamics of who we were in that tight end room, because you got to think about it. We got Jake, we got you, we got Ian, you got Joe.
Shout out the Butt Master.
You got Jose, who is borderline smartest man on the world, had a 4.2 at Michigan while playing football.
Never
as
missed a
walk.
class
Never
in his
missed a
life.
class in his life.
Engineering
100%
North
perfect
Campus.
attendance in his life.
North
Bro.
Campus guys.
Never got an A- in his life.
How you doing? He was man. What he married?
That is not exaggerated.
He was
for
married.
the camera.
Was
And
a
he was
good
married.
guy. Was a good guy.
Great guy all around, man.
Great guy.
And it was just like to speak on the different personalities, man. I think it was. Yeah, shout out Poggi.
Shout out Poggi, too.
Shout out
Poggi.
Chase Winovich.
I was
Chase
gonna say
CC
Chase.
CC was in that
Poggi.
tight end room.
Started in the tight end room.
Facts. 100%, man. Heisman, hey, you a dog. Pass course, he was the OG. That was OG.
Hey, listen, Mike Kwiatkowski, y'all know that was my OG. There's the one.
That's a lie.
There was exactly. That's the line. Die line. Hey, and then more importantly too, man, the guy that kind of got us all here, right? Shout out Dan Farina.
Shout out Dirty Dan. Hey, Dan, I love you to death, dog.
Kevin Koger.
Shout out
Kroger.
Kev.
Kroger, not Kroger.
Kev, not Hey, dog. Shout out Kev, man.
Coming into his own.
Go.
He'll
Hey,
be
look.
a head coach one
Hey,
day.
Will
He'll
be.
a
And
head
he's a
coach
tight
one
end
day.
coach
Yeah, he's a
today.
tight end
Come
coach.
on now.
Hey, look, all I'm saying is, you feel me? Like,
This
if you
room
need
got-
an assistant, holla at your boy. You know what I'm saying? I got the, look.
Sounds like he's got to get on the pod. Sounds like this guy has the.
Coach,
Sound
if
like
you
you gotta
listening.
get on-
When
Sounds like
you
he got
listen.
on the pod.
Get on that pod, man. But yeah, thanks, Jake, for coming out, man, and spending time with us, bro. And, hope to many more blessings to you. I hope everything works out in your favor because you deserve it more than anybody because we've seen you go through plenty of stuff and continuously be a stand-up guy, never gave up, and kept being you, man. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys.
My
Hopefully
boy.
we do it again in the future
Yeah,
sometime.
100%.
No, hey, Panda and then the booty juice. Don't ever forget
Hey,
about it.
Patty and the Booty Juice. Don't
I'm
don't
telling
forget
you,
about it.
All right now.
And look,
All right.
that's a wrap on the Panda and Juice podcast show.
There it is.
There it is. You. Woo.
Yeah. Hook it up.
That was tough.